Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a great day. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about the difference between B2B and B2C. And the reason why I'm doing this video because in the last video I talked about the difference between inbound and outbound leads, and I mentioned a lot in the previous videos as well. I was mentioning a lot B2B or B2C, but I never explained the difference between B2B and B2C. And another reason as well why I'm doing this video is because the last day I asked a lot of people in my major, which is business administration major, in the fourth year. I asked a lot of students what is the difference between B2B and B2C, and I was surprised by no one knew what is the difference between B2B and B2C. And it's not a very it's not a big deal to know the difference, but if you are willing to get into sales or marketing or business in general, and especially if you are studying business administration, I think it's not it's not negotiable to know these type of concepts, and to know the difference between each of them, because you are eventually gonna be working in the industry, you know. So every business in this world or in this planet can be categorized by B2B or B2C. Like every business can be categorized, it's either B2B or B2C. So B2B stands for business to business, and B2C stands for business to customer. And let's start with B2B, which is B2B stands for business to business, and it involves any transaction between two businesses. So any transactions that happens between a business with another business, it's stands for, or it's a B2B business or transaction. So when one business sells their products or services to other businesses, it's considered a B2B business. And in the other hand, B2C is the complete opposite, which is B2B. B2C stands for business to customer, and it involves any transaction between a business and a customer, or a consumer. Uh, so when a business sells their product or services to another customers or consumers, it's considered a B2C. For example, if a supermarket sells a pack of cigarette to another human being or another customer, it's considered a B2C business. So, in summary, B2B, like I said, is a company that sells their product or services to another company, but a B2C is a company that sells their services to another individuals or customers. So, the key differences between B2B and B2C: B2B has fewer customers but high ticket prices, and it has a larger orders but a high value orders as well, and it has as well longer decision time, because any transaction between a business to business, it takes time, because it's a much more longer process than in the B2B. And it has of course longer relationships, but in B2C it has more customers but in lower ticket prices. And in B2C, it has smaller orders and lower value orders, and short decision time to make any transaction, and shorter relationship. And let's give an example for a B2B example, which is, let's say, Salesforce, which is, by the way, a CRM company. So if Salesforce went and sold their CRM software to other businesses, it's considered B2B. And so if HubSpot sold their market tools to agencies and companies, it's considered as well B2B. But B2C example, like Nike sells their trainers to individuals, or who doesn't know Nike company that makes any type of sport clothes or shoes or anything related to sport. And let's say Netflix, McDonald's, Zara, or Spotify. These all types are considered as B2C examples. So the last thing that I want to clarify is I want to give a real life example that B2C businesses can be as well B2B. It's not always B2C can only be B2C, or a business that only sells or buy to another customers. It can be as well B2B. So Mercadona, let's for example take Mercadona. Mercadona is the biggest supermarket here in Spain. So if I went and I bought a Pepsi from Mercadona, it's considered B2C. Or but if Pepsi wholesalers went and sold their stuff to Mercadona, this is considered B2B, because B2B has larger order values and higher value orders. So as you see, if wholesalers went and sold their stuff to Mercadona, it's considered B2B. I think it's not a very complicated thing to know, but it's very important to know. I think that's I think that's it for today. It's not a very big video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Have a good day.